Welcome to Resume Storyteller with Virginia Franco, bringing you interviews with industry experts and regular folks who tested the job search waters and succeeded, and strategies to tell your story and land you job interviews in 60 days, guaranteed. Here's your host, Virginia Franco.
Guys, I am delighted to have with me today business coach and international LinkedIn expert Guy Strabosch, and I am sure that I just brutalized the last name, so I'm hoping he will clarify that as soon as I finish up the intro. Guy specializes in online and offline communication, LinkedIn and social selling. He speaks to audiences as an authority on the art of thinking differently and helps small businesses, corporations, and job seekers to successfully brand themselves. Based out of the Netherlands, Guy is an official LinkedIn ambassador for the Benelux region, which includes Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. So, Guy, thank you very much. And please tell me how to pronounce your last name because I'm sure that I botched it.
I will do so, Virginia. First of all, thank you for having me. It's pronounced Guy, the French way.
Okay, and I like that much better.
My family name is called Strabosch, so Strabosch.
Guy Strabosch. Okay, thank you very much. So you heard me just do a brief overview of what you do day in and day out, Guy, but I'd love to hear from you how you came to be in this position. Tell me what brought you to the career and social selling space.
Okay. First of all, I have to say hello from Mick Adam from Belgium, my friend in college. So I've done that. I'm a LinkedIn brand strategist, born in Amsterdam. My father came from Amsterdam. My mother came from Paris, France.
Okay,
that's
the French name, yes.
Antwerp, Belgium. And my grandfather was born in Budapest, Hungary.
Oh.
So, born in the Netherlands, a tiny country across the ocean.
Mm-hmm. I've been there.
So I guess that makes me a European, being curious by nature.
There you go. And obviously multilingual. I've been
self-employed for over 10 years now. And before that, I've worked within corporates, mostly internationally, in sales and marketing positions. And in 2008, I was responsible for global marketing within a supply chain logistics company, Scholler Alibert.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, we participated in global events, in mostly in automotive, in Detroit, in Moscow, in Beijing, in India. And through LinkedIn, I came across so many interesting people, especially executives, C-suite people. And with that, I built my network within decision-making, people active on LinkedIn. LinkedIn opened this third office in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, about 10 years ago. And to give you an idea, I've been addicted to this platform ever since, but to give you an idea about the impact of LinkedIn here in the Netherlands. I've looked it up. Texas is approximately 678,000 square kilometers, while the Netherlands is only 41,500.
Wow, okay.
Population, Texas about 25 million. In Holland, 17 million.
Oh, okay. So a lot of people squished into a little space.
Yeah. Our capital, Amsterdam, is exactly the same. Well, slightly bigger than Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, right.
But that's about sizes.
Okay. And
then over 80% of the Dutch working population is active on LinkedIn.
That's a lot.
Despite or thanks to the size, we are very active. We've been explorers since long times ago. And with that, we are, connectors and networkers.
Yeah, I think I was just looking at the stats the other day. I feel like in the U.S., it's maybe only 25% of job seekers or of the professional market is on LinkedIn. Does that sound low to you?
Yeah.
It's pretty low, yeah.
Yeah. So I came across LinkedIn about, over 10 years ago now, and I've been addicted ever since. It's a wonderful platform to
yeah, but you were an early adopter.
Well, early, I don't know. It started in 2004. and I started in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, but back then there weren't. I mean, a lot of people weren't on it and not using it to the fullest effect, like you began doing earlier.
Yeah, correct.
So tell me who you work with today. What kinds
Who
of
I work
people?
with today?
Mm-hmm. Who are your clients?
Mostly, it's a combination of people responsible for sales and marketing departments within corporates, within small or medium-sized businesses, and well, nowadays with this current situation,
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody is online.
I mean, I've definitely seen a increase in who's on LinkedIn for certain. Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you tell one of the reasons I wanted to speak with you is I do believe that a lot of the strategies that you use to teach sales and marketing departments are very applicable to job seekers.
Absolutely.
And I have written lots of articles on the idea that job search is like a sales and marketing campaign. And so you need to approach it as such. And are there a couple of challenges that you see people facing? Well, I guess my question normally is around for job seekers, for challenges facing those testing the job search waters. But I guess in your case, it would be challenges that you see people struggling to overcome in terms of using LinkedIn as a sales and marketing platform. What are the sort of big things that
I've made some notes for this
them?
question, Virginia, and with the current situation and COVID-19, it's not an easy one to answer. The world has changed, and it also depends where you live in this world. Is it New York, which is very different from Amsterdam, or Oklahoma City is different from Rome, Italy. So there's a difference in also type of economy and politics.
That's right.
I mean, the way you deal with this current situation is different from, well, Brazil or some countries in Europe.
You're right. Every country and then every locality is handling it differently. Yeah.
So job seekers are facing a difficult time these times. But nevertheless, I see a big increase in activities. Everybody's going online now. It doesn't show particularly in the amount of views or engagement, but we are active on online platforms. So the biggest challenge I see is working on your personal brand, which is a dynamic situation. Always work on your personal brand, being unique and authentic, and last but not least, appearing in the feed of the right person.
That's right.
You do so by commenting, connecting, and I believe Annie Foot said it correctly the other day. Browse back. I love that expression.
I love that expression as well. And can you explain for those who don't know what browse back is?
Browse back is well, when someone is viewing or visiting your profile, browse back and engage, interact, see their posts, comment on their posts, and not just putting your thumbs up by liking, but just commenting and connecting by saying, hey, I saw this great post, love what you're writing, love your thoughts, let's connect.
That's right. And a lot of people, I mean, I talk to people all the time who use LinkedIn, and they'll look at their, under their profile insights, you can look and see who viewed your profile, and they'll say, well, I saw that this person viewed me, but he didn't make a connection. And the browse back technique says, yes, you can go and reach out to those people. It's not, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. In fact, it's encouraged and it shows incentive to recognize that someone did visit your profile and say, thanks for visiting my profile, and get conversations going that way.
I believe one should be very, very transparent in that, not viewing in private mode, but be transparent. Everything I write on LinkedIn can be put in a national paper. My mother-in-law can read it. I'm okay with that. There's a purpose why you are on a social media platform like LinkedIn, I guess.
No, I agree. But I completely agree with your thoughts around being authentic, being authentic so that the profile that you see before you feels like you, and maintaining a brand that is current. there are so many profiles out there that are just not up to date. Is there something that you feel like your clients are most surprised by, maybe when they are first learning about this platform, or maybe trying to get them, convincing them to go onto LinkedIn?
Well, I believe you made a podcast out of that also. Job seekers especially go on LinkedIn when they are looking for a job, and they're not so active on LinkedIn when they're in a current position. Which is a big failure to me, because it takes time to build up a network. It takes time to build up a network of referral partners, of ambassadors. And once you start, it's like if you want to buy a house. If the house is on the market, everybody can see it. And so you have to be active browsing the internet before and connecting to real estate professionals, and to see the house that you really, really want and compare that to a job, to get a job that you really want before everybody else is on the platform applying for the same job.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You need to stand out, try to get ahead of the game. I believe in that podcast, or I know I've said this before, I sort of use the analogy of don't dig your well for water when you need to drink. You need to do it beforehand, because it takes time to do the work. Like you said, it takes time to build that network, all of that. Just getting your profile up takes a while. Writing it on your own is hard, and then working with professionals, there's a lot of people have waiting lists. But no, I agree. I think people underestimate the time that it can take to get this started. And I do believe that this work from home time is an opportunity and a way to do just that. Start building your profile when maybe you didn't have the time to do it before. People have a little bit extra time on their hands now.
Correct. I agree.
Is there something that just drives you crazy in terms of misuse of the platform, or mishaps that you see in terms of engagement? What's sort of the thing that you say this is an absolute thing that should not be done, but you see happening time and time again?
There are a few, Virginia.
Okay. Start with one or two.
First of all, people that use LinkedIn as a resume per se, instead of a dynamic personal website. So they have all their job positions listed without any description. Just, I don't know if that's correct in English, staccato, just they sum up.
I call it skeletal. There isn't, all you see are the bones, you don't see all the meat. Yep.
The other thing is when, for people in the Netherlands, when they have put Dutch in their skills. Dutch is the language we speak here in the Netherlands. So unless you are an American speaking Dutch, that's added value. Or if you are a translator, that's added value. But for us in this tiny country, 99+% speaks Dutch.
Right. So it's like someone in the U.S. putting English on there.
A young man, mid-20, is putting Microsoft Office as a skill.
It's a given.
We believe that's their generation, so they know it.
Right.
So also in that part of your profile, you can be different. And I love to be different. I mean, a lot of people just follow the rules of LinkedIn. And when it says summary, they write down a summary. Or experience, they write job title. When you talk about the headline, they say, I'm a business owner. Well, congratulations, you're a business owner. You can make decisions. But what does it say to me? There are so many business owners. So if you want to be authentic, and if you want to tickle people, to stand out, be different.
Yeah, and you have to think about what will someone type in to search for someone like me. You're right. No one's going to type in the word business owner. if they want to search for someone. What is it about you that's made you a business owner that would make someone want to find and reach out to someone like you? Think about the words that define that, I think. But yeah, being different is so important. And that you bring up a really good point about making sure that what you put adds value and isn't something that's understood already. To your point, if I speak English and I'm in the US, I'm not going to put English. Knowing Microsoft Word, people sort of expect you to. There's very few jobs. Yeah. I think of a secretary where knowing Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office is important, but everyone else, they expect you to really know it. And so adding that is no one's going to type in, search for someone to look for Microsoft Office.
Correct.
So I put it on there.
Add value, basically. That's bottom line.
No, I think that's a really good point. Switching to a little bit more to job seekers, what advice would you give to someone getting ready to start a job search? How would you, what does their profile need to include? How do you recommend they really, really just get their thoughts together on this?
Okay. Well, focus on your goal when talking about LinkedIn. Always think of the visitor visiting your profile, and to put on their glasses, so to speak. And that goes for every single section of your profile. So LinkedIn is just a tool. Nothing fancy, it's just a tool, stepping stone for the next step. But be crystal clear in what you're looking for and use those words that not I want to write, but the words that you want to read.
That's right. This is sort of
Of course, it has to be authentic again. It has to be true, and it has to be based upon your goal, what type of job you're looking for.
So let me ask you this: what advice would you give to someone who wants their LinkedIn to sort of serve two purposes? They want it, let's say they're in sales and they want it to use it to reach out, to appeal to customers, but also to appeal to recruiters. So, they want to do well in their current job, plus also potentially attract new roles. Do you feel like their LinkedIn?
So meaning that they want to focus on various customers, so to speak?
So yeah, two customers, right? One of the customers is a recruiter to land a new job. The other one is customers of the product or the service that they're selling.
It has to be, it has to be simple. You can engage with conversations for that specific salesperson, and for the specific job, for the recruiter, fill in the right words at the right places. And you have so many possibilities within your LinkedIn profile to do so. Your headline, your headshot, your background picture, the articles that are featured, a new feature. But for example, people have a profile picture.
Yeah.
But not everybody is aware of the fact that that profile picture is sometimes only visible to first degrees connection, which is quite simple and easy to change. But the visibility of your profile picture can be changed by clicking on the pencil below the background image, and then click again on the pencil next to the right of your personal profile picture. And then you can say visible to connections or visible to public. That's one. When you talk about the old summary, which is called about, and I would prefer that they would call it my story.
Oh, I like that better too.
You can add your contact information, your phone number, your email address in there. So not only first degree people or connections can see it, but everybody on LinkedIn can see it. They can connect with you. and I wouldn't advise that to all people because, people could be spammed.
Sure, but it depends on your goals.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you want to be open and that people can contact you, do so. But LinkedIn doesn't say, this is the section where you have to put your phone number. That's what you can choose to do. So to contact business people, sales in this example, interact with those people, comment on their posts, share your opinion, but dare to say no if they say yes. It's not only for thumbs up and fantastic. It can also be a wonderful platform for an opinion or for discussion.
No, I agree with that, and I love what you're saying around that. There's lots of subtle ways to make your intentions known, to appeal to a couple of different audiences, and the kind of engagement you do. You can share articles that attract your customers, but you can be having private conversations with, hiring managers while retaining that same profile. That's really good advice.
Yeah. And for example, Virginia, within skills, that section,
the skills and endorsements,
using only single words. To give you a simple example, if I would be a lawyer, I could put lawyer in there. But if I'm an IP lawyer or I'm a family lawyer, the combination of those two words are easier to recognize. And they show, of course, also in that part of your LinkedIn profile. But most people just put lawyer or coach or business coach. But what type of business coach are you? Are you a small business coach for small size companies or for corporates or for recruiters? So be specific also when using the right combination of words within your profile.
So if you have a multi-word skill, for instance, if a job posting just asks for a coach, but then you say, I'm a sports coach, then the word coach would still pop up because you've used it as part, but you've also defined it. Okay. Oh, that's really good advice.
Yeah.
What about, and this applies to your clients, I'm asking it within the job search context, but do you get clients that say, I'm using LinkedIn, but it's not really getting me the right results? How do you have them sort of revisit what they're doing? What advice do you give to them to figure out what's going on?
So you mean they don't get the results they want out of LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Primarily, I think the solution lies within their network. I see a lot of people that have a big network, a large network, but they're not within their target audience. So what they see is when they broadcast or they publish a post, it will be spread with a lot of people, but
and the wrong people
are broadcasting back. So the information they're getting is rubbish. And then they see, okay, I'm looking at my feed and it's not of interest. LinkedIn is not for me. Or what I see a lot is that people don't find the time or put in the time and effort to get results, or they want it too quickly. They need a job now, or they need a new client now. And that's not going to happen, not even in normal life, but not also on LinkedIn. So it's basically focus again, preparation, and get in touch with an expert or someone who can give you different ideas. I see a lot of people that used LinkedIn for a long time ago and coming back because now they're looking for a job. LinkedIn has changed. There are a lot of possibilities that were not available back then. So people are sometimes overwhelmed with the possibilities.
Yeah, no, I agree. What in terms of having the right network, or do you have advice on how to train, quote unquote, train your feed so that you are getting relevant content and also that your message is being spread to the right people?
There are several possibilities for that. First of all, I see some people engaging in posts that they don't like.
Yeah.
So they think, okay, it's getting more like Facebook or other platforms, socials, and they interact with those publications. And then LinkedIn is thinking, okay, Virginia is liking this or commenting on this.
She must want
she
more.
She probably will like it.
Yeah.
Wrong thing to do. The other thing to do is hashtags, of course, but which is quite common in other social platforms. The hashtags are part of the URL. Not a lot of people know that. But the first 3 hashtags are part of the URL. So try to stick to those 3 hashtags instead of 30, like you would do so.
In like Twitter or Instagram, you're Twitter. Right. Yeah, so stick with 3.
It's a business platform, so stick to the subject. And if I'm talking about job seeking, it's about job seeking, and it's not about a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So hashtags,
and those creative hashtags, like you can use on other social media, I don't think they work as well on LinkedIn.
No, they don't.
People aren't searching for them.
It's okay. It's fun. Maybe they light up. It's a hyperlink, but when you click on it and you see only 2 followers, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? Well, groups are dead. We've heard that before, but still, you can still contact your fellow group members. And I guess, or I think Andy Foote also discussed that. You can email 15 fellow group members every month.
That's true. If you were engaged in groups, and a lot of people were in groups, even though they're dead, they're still in the groups. I know I belong to many. I just never use them anymore, but I'm still listed on the rosters.
Yeah. And if something interesting does come by, well, you're the first one to know.
Yeah. Do you feel like groups are going to make a comeback? I feel like there's a couple of signs that maybe they will.
Well, LinkedIn is trying, of course, to bring them back with
we're getting polling
notifications, but it's a hard journey to get them back, I guess.
Yeah, you're probably right. But so to sort of recap in terms of training your feed, engage in posts that you like, that you want to see more of. You have to think about that when you're doing that. Using the hashtags, but stick with ones that seem to have more of a following, and don't go crazy with them. 3, no more than 3.
Correct.
I like that.
And interact with the right people. So engage with the people that are within your target audience.
Do you have any advice on finding people that do engage on LinkedIn? As a lot of people say, well, how do I find the people that are posting on topics that I like? Is that just searching through, doing searches by hashtags to see who in your space is commenting on it? Well,
you could use, of course, the so-called advanced search. What's it called again?
Yeah, the advanced search.
Boolean search.
Right.
With filters and different wordings. So if you are within IT and you want to find people within development departments, try these words and try to look in if you live in the Amsterdam region, try to look at that part of the country with those specific words and interact with the people that are writing about the topics that you are interested by. It's not that difficult to find interesting people. Not at all, I think.
No, and there are lots of people that are, I feel like I've seen an increase in terms of just cross industry and cross functional engagement on LinkedIn. So there are people that are posting. And so, a lot of people are worried about, well, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to say. So I say, start with baby steps. You don't need to create your own post right off the bat, but you can comment on posts of others. Have a thoughtful post, add your insights onto something. And those comments will get you into the feeds of other people as well and help to train your feed accordingly.
If you do comment, Virginia, do add value.
Add value, yes. Don't just say, yay, great job.
Or fantastic.
Add something insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, agree.
True.
What about someone, and this doesn't apply to your clients, but I'd love to get your take. I work with people all the time that say, well, I could do a lot of different things. I don't really know what my target should be. How can I include that all on LinkedIn? What would you say?
Well, some people are diverse and they have different skills. And I would love to have a team with a lot of skills and people that can do more than one thing at a time.
What are your thoughts on getting two different? I've asked, and I have advocated against it, but I'd love to hear from you. What about people say, well, why can't I just have two LinkedIn profiles? I have a personal Facebook page and a private Facebook page or a business page. Why can't I do that on LinkedIn? What do you think?
Be you.
Yeah.
Be you. If that's who you are, write it down. And if you are diverse, if you have various qualifications, write it down. But if you're applying for a job, then we'll divert it in that direction. That is an important asset of your skills. But you also have other capacities. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so sort of showcasing the ones that are, or putting more emphasis on the ones that are most relevant, but also saying, but I also have these other skills, and this is how they might be useful.
Yeah, and not just by having those single words in your profile, but give proof, give arguments on how you dealt with those issues in the past. So write down a job description about your responsibilities, about your achieved goals, not just your job title. So in that case, you can be diverse. You can have various skills within one person.
Do you believe, though, that you should still have sort of one primary target? In terms of how, do you believe, though, that you should have one primary target in terms of what appears on your profile, not necessarily your engagement, but what appears on your profile? Do you feel like you should have one audience in mind for that?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. You can have various audiences, I guess. Some people are capable of being, they're creative, but they're also athletic. They are, those people perhaps in your primary school, they could do anything. They were good in singing. They could write. They could run. They were, the best.
Yes.
But their problem was they were the best in anything. So they didn't know what to choose. And then they popped from one part to the other, to the other, to the other. But some people have that qualification. And I don't mind those people. I love them. I love them because they can interact in lots of topics. And that's also a very, very important asset. That's
true. That's a really good point. Now, this next question, I'm not sure. I'm curious to hear how you address it with your clients. In job seeking, there's always talk about discrimination when it comes to hiring practices. Too old, wrong gender, wrong ethnicity. you're coaching people on using LinkedIn for selling. Is that something that comes up as a concern?
I hate discrimination.
I know.
I hate it.
Yeah.
As I told you in the beginning, I was born within an international family, international background, culture. So I overlook at those issues. I would love to have old, young, ugly, pretty, whatever in my team. But
is it
that's
something
the way
that
it is.
right. It's not legal, but it happens.
I was born in 1964. That's my age. I can't change that.
Right.
If people think I'm too old, if people discriminate me for that, I wouldn't like to work there.
So do you tell people, put it all out there, and that way you are screening out the people that you wouldn't want to work with in the first place? Or that you wouldn't want to be your clients in the first place?
I guess so.
Okay.
I was 13 when my grandfather died. He had worked all of his life and retired and got cancer and died a year later. So please have a job that you like and not just to pay the mortgage. Have fun within your work.
Yeah.
I like the I don't know if it was ever broadcasted in the United States. It's a Swedish TV character.
Who is
it's
it?
called Pippi Longstocking.
Oh yes, of course, I remember. Yeah. I was born in 1968, so not too far after you.
Okay, so she said, "I've never done it, so I think I can do it." Be yourself, and if people don't want to hire you, well, too bad for them.
And same goes for, if you're trying to attract customers in a sales setting, those aren't your clients anyway. So
I don't want to work with those clients.
Okay.
It's nice for a few dollars, but does it make you happy? Does it satisfy you? No,
that's a good point. It's funny because when I'm writing the resume, I always say, I don't want someone to know if you are 35 or 85. I don't want that to even be, I don't want those kinds of questions to even pop up. I want the person to focus on the results and the skills. But on LinkedIn, you have a picture, you are more limited. So then I say, focus on including the achievements or the roles that align with what you want to do next. But if something happened back in 1992 that really adds value to what you want to do now, include it. And don't worry about when someone says. I think people read LinkedIn a little differently than they do static documents like a resume. If you hook them, they keep on reading, and you've sort of helped to overcome some of the biases that someone might have otherwise. That's one of the things I like about LinkedIn.
No, I agree. I agree with Gina. But be yourself. Don't change it ever.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree. And you can be yourself with your picture, you're right. Back to your earlier point, there's so many ways that you can show yourself, your banner, your headline, the picture you choose, the tone of the language that you're using.
Tone of language, very important. We didn't discuss that yet, but tone is very important.
I imagine you don't like it when people describe themselves in the third person, and then they're very non-conversational.
That's an understatement.
Yes.
I don't like it at all.
I don't either. And it's better now, but 8-10 years ago, that's how everyone described themselves, and getting people to make those changes, especially in more traditional industries, was hard. I do feel like it's becoming more the norm to use your voice and let the person hear you say, I did this, use the word me, it's okay.
I work with you, Virginia, not with the third person.
The third person, exactly. Yeah, no, agree. So what, I always ask this question, I'll be interested to hear how you answer it. Someone comes to you and says, what are one or two things that a job seeker or someone who is looking to make a career move must have in order to get started? What would you say?
What they must have,
Yes.
personal story.
Okay.
I don't have a specific tool to use, but be active on socials, build up an authentic brand, not showing a superhero, but be you. So yeah, be you. And well, video nowadays is very common. Not everybody dares to use video.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither. But it's like, well, I'm very happy with my wife. I know her for over 30 years, but compared to looking for a date, and if you're looking, you don't find it. Once you stop looking, she's there.
It shows
or he's
up,
there.
right?
So be calm about it and be relaxed. But don't stop using LinkedIn if you are in a job.
Making it a habit, whether you're employed or not, will reap rewards down the road, because people, I've said this before, hiring managers don't want the best job seeker. They want the best candidate.
Yeah.
And so how much activity, like you and I use it a lot more than most people. What do you think is a good amount of time to be using LinkedIn sort of day in and day out?
There's not a single answer for that.
Oh, really?
It depends. It depends. And that's not the answer you're looking for, I guess. But some people can cope with 15 minutes a day. Some people will do half an hour a week or a month. But if you want to get results out of LinkedIn, you should be active on the platform, and you can't afford to look or be active just once a month. If you want to have results, you need to focus on that. You need to spend some time. As you spend some time on doing your finance or doing your marketing or acquisition. Finding a job is a job by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you will get there. It takes time. It takes time sometimes, but you will get there.
Do you, when you are asking people to expand their network, and you talked initially about if you have the wrong network, that's going to hurt your feed and all of that, and who you get in front of. In terms of getting people in your network, what are the best? How do you have them go about it? What are the first steps? Is it just send them an invitation? What do you recommend? How do you recommend people go about cultivating a connection on LinkedIn?
Okay. Personal notes must do when sending an invitation. Also on smartphones, on mobiles, that's easy to do. And what I've done over the past is every Monday morning, I had about 5 appointments, telephone appointments. Mm-hmm. And I asked people that, I thought were interesting to me to have an appointment on the phone. I put out a date and a time. So at a time frame, only 15-minute phone call. So from 9 to 9:15, from 9:30 to 9:45, etc., etc. 5 phone calls. And I had only one basic rule, and that was not to be a salesperson. So those conversations were personal, and I asked, "What do you do, Virginia?" And you start talking, and people like to talk about themselves. So after about 9, 10, 11 minutes, around that time, they would start asking, "Okay, Guy, and what do you do? Or what do you do?" And I had a one-liner. I'm in communication. I do social selling and LinkedIn. And basically the 15 minutes were finished. But within those 15 minutes, I got so many wonderful personal information. Someone was cured from cancer. Someone had a severe accident.
Yeah.
I didn't even know them beforehand. And now they share that kind of information with, well, not a total stranger, but
it helps you
with
to
a
make
stranger.
that connection so you don't feel like a stranger anymore.
No, true. And it was the same when I was in my young 20s. I used to hitchhike within Europe. You knew, okay, I will see this person never, ever again. So I can tell him everything. Nowadays, with socials, it's different. But again, people are willing to share a lot of personal stuff with people they've never met. But they do on LinkedIn. So what happened after having that conversation, 15 minutes were ended, 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks later, I got a phone call from someone I talked to. Hey, Guy, I found someone and he has an issue with LinkedIn and he wants to train his team. Can you help? Just by having that 15 minutes of conversation, we build up a lot of trust and a lot of no trust factor. So don't only how would I say it? Get new connections, but engage with them. Build up a relationship with them. It's nice to have 500 plus connections. If you don't do anything with them, they're worthless.
I love that. Yeah, turn your connections into relationships.
Yeah.
And that's just by sending a personal invite. Try to get on the phone and talk for a bit. See how you can both add some value.
Yeah. And even if I receive an invite without a personal note, I always get back to them. I thank them for the invitation. Out of curiosity, how did you get to my profile? Mm-hmm. So I get some inside information already. And then what can I do for you? And if they don't respond, well, I'm not that interesting to them.
That's right. That's fine.
I guess.
Well, it's funny because I have made the mistake on mobile of hitting send and then realizing, oh no, I didn't customize the invite. But people have been very kind. I'll go back immediately and send a quick email and say,
yep,
I'm so sorry, I forgot to personalize it, and that's okay. People understand that you took the time, and we're not perfect. Yeah, exactly.
We're human.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
So Guy, tell me, I mean, you have a busy business. Do you have any exciting things planned for 2020 if we're ever let out of our houses with this COVID-19?
Of course, I will continue following the market. I want to continue inspiring people on how to use this fantastic platform. Today we're doing this interview. It's the 22nd of April. Mm-hmm. It was the birthday of my mother, who died 2 years ago. So I choose this date on purpose. She would love for me to have this international interview. Well, she moved to Amsterdam from Paris in 1959, so she was adventurous.
Yeah.
And I will continue with my adventure in exploring the world and getting to know lots and lots of new people that inspire me. I will continue with my international keynotes, and I'm going to be 56 this year, so I would love to inspire younger people. I had a training the other day through Zoom with university students that are just starting with their careers, and I will continue doing that.
I love that. And my favorite part of social media, there's a lot of people don't love social media, but one thing you can't argue with is that you can have relationships with people literally all over the globe. It's incredible. That would never have been available to us 30 years ago.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, it is.
I went to Thailand in 1989, and we had no email, no internet. So I went to the GPO, General Post Office, to collect all these handwritten letters. Mm-hmm. And nowadays students travel the world and they make video. You can instantly see on the other side of the globe. So the world has changed, but it has become an interesting place to be on. And we're human, so we can adapt. Also with this COVID-19, we can adapt.
No, you're right. My youngest son, he loves video games. And, now with working the virtual schooling, he doesn't have to be up at a certain time. And he was up at 4 a.m. talking with someone he met in Singapore, and he's been playing games with.
Fantastic.
And it's crazy. It's wonderful.
And with that also, Virginia, I hope we respect others more. We see different cultures. They have different manners, different food, different type of things they do, and we're lucky to live in a Western country nowadays. If you would live now in the slums in India or in Rio de Janeiro, I'm fortunate to be here and to be healthy.
Same. Well, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure. I learned, which is always nice. And if people want to reach out to you, I have included your email and your LinkedIn URL.
Thank you very much.
So thank you again, and stay safe.
Thanks for having me. Stay safe as well. Looking forward to the recordings.
You've been listening to Resume Storyteller with Virginia Franco. To learn more about storytelling strategies to catch the eye of today's SCIM online readers, hiring and decision makers, go to www.virginiafrancoresumes.com.